Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about medical preparedness. Now, this video came about because of the live stream I did the other night when I was talking about India and their lack of resources and the reasoning why a lot of those people are dying over there, right? So like I said, I know in my video I didn't mention it, but after the video I thought about it and I was like, most of those people died because of lack of medical resources. They didn't have the materials they needed to keep these people alive. Now, I am not saying by any stretch of the imagination that it was going to save every last life, but the fact that they just ran out of the resources because there were too many people there, and also the government is being blamed for not being prepared, that they didn't prepare properly for the second wave that hit India. So with that, I'm thinking medical preparedness. Now, I know a lot of us sort of skip that part in our preparedness. Now, some of us do prepare medically, but not enough, right? Some people buy like those little stupid first aid kits. Some guys buy trauma kits, but we need everything in between, right? So we need medical and we need trauma stuff. Now, here's the I guess the kick in the dick, if you will, with medical preparedness. With medical preparedness, you need skills and you need gear. You need both, right? Skills are going to outweigh gear, but sometimes, or a lot of the times rather, you need gear with the skills to save a life. We need to start focusing on the medical gear we need to obtain and the medical skills we need to obtain as well, or learn. I think that this is an important part of preparedness, emergency preparedness, sorry. And here's the thing with medical skills, guys. Medical skills does not have to be used in an end-of-the-world situation. It really doesn't. It could be used at any given time in your life, right? It could be used for someone getting hurt in your home, someone getting hurt on a construction site, somebody getting hurt at your job, right? School. It can be used for multiple things. So it's not just end-of-the-world skills. It's a very good skill to have just across the board. When I became an EMT, which I was not looking to become an EMT, but when I became an EMT, I used my skills, my medical skills, if you will, outside of that multiple times, right? Helping people in the street, helping neighbors, things of that nature. And I think we all should start looking at medical skills. Now, yes, there are certain medical skills that, you know, for example, Bear Independence, Stop the Bleed courses. Those are good courses to go and take, right? Those are very straight to the point courses as well. But then there are other courses that are more involving, like becoming an EMT or a paramedic or a nurse's assistant, right? Or a nurse or a doctor. Those are like finite skills. Those are skills where, like, if you become a doctor or even a nurse, your medical skills and your medical knowledge is superior to, again, a medic or an EMT or even a first aid guy, especially a first aid guy, right? First aid guy is like at the bottom of the barrel, and then at the top of the echelon of that is the doctors. So I'm not saying for any of us to go to medical school, that's for sure, but there are a lot of things you can learn on YouTube. Now, I know some doctors on here, if there are doctors watching, you just cringed at that statement. But hear me out. Where else are they going to learn medical skills, medical knowledge? The best way for you to learn, especially somebody at my age, 40-something years old, is on the internet. And before you start learning from doctors, guys, make sure you find yourself reputable doctors on the internet. Now, there are plenty of reputable doctors on there. I'm going to put the name of one guy I just started following now. He, again, checking his background and the research on this guy, right? I just didn't, he popped up on my stream, and that's how I learned about him. And then I put him on, I subscribed to him, sorry. I subscribed to him, and then I did some background research on the guy. And while doing some background research on the guy, I realized this guy's legit, right? So you have to do the same. You have to do the same for anyone, guys, anyone, but especially doctors if you're going to go along especially if you're going to learn medical skills and medical knowledge. The bottom line, guys, is medical preparedness is a needed skill, right? And being that it's a needed skill, there are things that we're going to have to learn. And again, YouTube is not the best place to learn a lot of these medical skills, but for some of us, it's the only place. With that, guys, you can also get books. You can also go to Barnes & Nobles, if that's even still a thing. Go to Barnes & Nobles and pick up books on these, on medical knowledge, rather, sorry. Right? And medical knowledge, guys, takes years to learn. But it's also good to have that book in your home. Just in case at your prepper compound, for example, you come across a disease, you come across an illness, and you're looking for signs and symptoms, and you are the only medical knowledge-based dude in that prepper community, guess who everyone's relying on, right? Now, as far as treatment goes and everything else, that's an entirely different ball game, though a lot of these books will tell you what the treatment can be. Now, whether or not you can obtain those treatments, that's a different story altogether. Because some of these treatments you can only get through doctors, you can only get through hospitals. And let's say the shit hit the fan scenario is in full effect, maybe you can go to a hospital and salvage it. Maybe. Some medications need to be kept cold. So in some cases, that medication will probably be out or no good, because if the power goes out, so does the fridge, right? So you got to keep that in mind. There's a lot of variables with medical preparedness. Now, if you are a preparedness community, you should already have refrigerators and things like that to store that stuff. So if the shit hits the fan decline is in effect and you start seeing shit get worse, well then you could probably go to the hospital and ask for certain things. But what would you ask for? That's another issue. But medical preparedness is something that we should start taking seriously. Now, I am not saying, guys, become a medical doctor or a medical doctor. Don't become a doctor or nurse, you know, on a whim. Some of you guys can afford it. Some of you guys are young enough to do it. Some of you have the time. I definitely don't have the time to do it. But I've been refreshing my EMT skills, and I've been learning about medic skills. Though I regret not becoming a medic now that I'm older, especially with everything that's going on. So, with that, guys, medical preparedness, we're going to go over a couple more episodes on what to prepare on medically, because there are different fields, right? There's trauma, there's first aid, there's heavy medical conditions like illnesses and things that you need to look out for, especially in the prepper community. If you have a prepper community, that is, like a prepper compound or militia, something like that. One of those groups of people that you're running that's secluded to your group. These are the things that you guys should be, I guess, taking into consideration. And also, with that, guys, you need to also send, let's say, your smartest guy to an EMT course. Now, an EMT course is like 3 months. A medic course, I think, is like 9 months now, maybe a year. Depends on the length of the class. So there are different things you can take right now. Right? You could take comprehensive first aid courses, comprehensive trauma courses. Again, Bear Independent, Stop the Bleed course. Those are always good courses, especially what's going on now. New York City and Detroit and other cities that have constant shooting, Stop the Bleed courses are imperative. We're watching these mass shootings happen all over America for some strange reason, but nonetheless, they're happening. And you could definitely take a Stop the Bleed course, or a trauma course. You're going to be a much needed person in those groups. The more medical skills you have, the more valuable you become. Keep that in mind too. A medical person, whether they're an EMT, medic, nurse, or doctor, they are going to be valuable people, along with engineers and gardeners and things like that. Especially like botanists. That's a very good skill to have in a prepper community, right? Because they can grow almost anything. So, again, guys, keep that in mind. With that, guys, medical preparedness, we're going to go over a couple of more different fields in medical preparedness, because it's something that's overlooked. We just don't talk about it. All right, guys, so this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like, subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And as the Angry Truths channel, you can follow me on Instagram and Telegram. And as the Angry Prepper, you can follow me on Telegram as well. All right, guys, thank you for watching.